Can you give me a just example for the practicing your fingering?
I don't know. What could you
Maybe
practice?
just for the hammer on and pull off technique, something like that.
Well, I don't really practice exercises so much. I will say this, we had a secret chat about this before you turned the cameras on. If someone watching this wants to try something a bit different at home, I think it's an interesting exercise when you're doing something that you would normally pull off.
Okay.
Just to do this kind of thing. And then instead of speeding it up, because it's mostly guys watching this, and guys want to speed things up, that's our nature, right? But instead of that, you just make the notes longer and make the gaps in between shorter. So you go from to. And I just think it's good for the timing of your fingers. Every time you play a new note, it's like one finger has to leave the string and the other finger has to land on the string, and it has to be perfect timing, perfect coordination between those two fingers. So if you just mess around with that for a couple of minutes and then go back,
Okay.
like the normal hammer-ons and pull-offs, somehow it feels more precise. Because you spent those couple of minutes like, making life more difficult for this hand. And it's these two fingers, I think, for pretty much everyone. These two fingers are in love. They don't want to go anywhere without each other. So sometimes you have to kind of separate them.
Okay.
So that that's good for them, I think.
For the lesson, yeah.
So yeah, I've practiced like silly little movements like that, but I don't really have a warm-up routine or anything like that. Generally, I prefer only to play things that I would actually play in front of people, or things that I could use on a recording. And you know, the popular exercise. No one wants to listen to that.
Yeah.
Why? If it doesn't sound good, I don't want to play it. You know?
Okay. And how about your picking hand when you're tapping? Is the same thing? Same.
Yeah, it's all the same philosophy, I guess. I realised something about picking. Because like for that alternate picking thing, I think everyone has some way of going. There's this kind of twisty wrist movement, and everyone can do it. And I realised that I've been doing this a lot in hotel rooms with the hotel key.
Really? Okay.
And it's like, hang on, that's like a magnified version of your picking hand. Anyone could do that. You just going to explore and you find a place where. It's better with the hotel room key, but you get the idea. And then you try and harness that movement. It's like my wrist can do this down up thing really fast. So now I have to just place the rest of my arm and my shoulder and the body of the guitar. Just experiment with angles so that when you do the easy version of that movement, notes come out. And I think another thought that I don't read about in books as often as I'd like to is sometimes it's cool just to have starting and stopping. So you're practicing a short burst of something instead of just frantically picking until you get tired. But just you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just more like a little snare drum rudiment.
Something like that.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with the funky stuff. You're just picking bigger. Let's get rid of the delay. That's not enriching anybody's life, but.
When you play it, it's not a 16 note triplet, it's like a 30 second.
30-second notes.
Yeah.
I think they sound cooler.
As so
bonus,
cool, so different.
But also you end up with your hand moving in the right direction. I mean, it's such a cliche, isn't it? You get funk for rock players. You do that and then you know what's going. I hate that triplet. Yeah, it annoys me. That stuff, it just in my head, it makes rhythmic sense to kind of double things up instead of forcing a triplet in there.